and welcome to this dual commentary by me, Redman Mark, and Dominus Noctis. Today we are playing on Convergent, which is a two-player map with random starting positions, and that's why there's three. On our left side we have Blue, who is Wolf, and he is Borg. And on the right side we have Arash, who is Green, and is also Borg. So Green is Arash's favourite race, so this should definitely be an interesting game. And over to you, Dominus, for guessing the avatars, because you know me, I'm rubbish, so wait for the miners to come out.
Well, good evening to our late night commentary of the day, and we have Arash, who is an Optimize, and we have Wolf, who is an Optimize. Surprise, surprise. We have some religious scouting going on from Arash. You can see the miner or the detector moving around. Gonna scout out some moons. Look where he is. He can't find him yet. Since this is a 3 start position map, you can be anywhere on the side. I like this nice conduction matrix and location over here. It's out of the way. It's not facing the enemy. Whereas Wolf is facing the enemy.
Like Wolves, which is definitely facing the enemy. I was about to point it out. Oh, what a shame. Wolf has gone for his dilithium moon first, so that would normally suggest that he's not going to go for probe and scout cube rush, even scube. But then again, he might have just not realised that if you're going to go scube rush, the best thing to do is go for your tritanium first. We'll see.
I might predict that he would go adapters in a Borg v Borg situation, or maybe even Dodes. That seems to be somewhat popular. Alright, we see energy nodes level 1 going up, and we see energy... Whoa! Arash is a little slow here. Let's see if he gets it up. Can he get up his thing? Here it goes.
Now Wolf, Dominus, that sounded very dirty. Can he get his thing up in time? There.
I totally did not mean that to sound dirty at all. Not at all.
I'm going to warn you guys, this is a very late night commentary. For me, it's like 6 in the morning. For Dominus, I don't know what time it is, probably at 12 at night.
10 p.m., you know, I'm such an old man, I can't sleep, you know. But I do have work tomorrow. Alrighty, so we do have lots of probes coming up, and this tells me we are going to see adapters, most likely. So let's wait for that thing to hit 20 cc's, and we'll see something. Adapters are pretty good in Borg v Borg. They have a nice torpedo, they have a lot of things that can help those probes. They're medium-sized units, so they will do fine against cubes, and they do fine against Dodes in general. I'm curious. Yes?
Looking at Arash's base, we have him actually building more miners. So he's going to go for a fast expansion here. He's not building
quite an interesting decision.
He's not building probes, which is very interesting. He's going to have very little defense. His first unit is going to be a scube, so his scubes will defend his probes. I don't know if this is a wise decision. His scubes take ages to repair. Adapters will eat through them quite fast with their nice juicy torpedo. So this will be interesting. And there is good scout going on by both. So Wolf knows exactly what Rash is building because he just went by his base, and he's going back to have another look. So it's good scouting. Very happy about this. While Rash's scout is just sitting on the edge there. Oh no, it's off.
And I'll have to note here that Wolf is building another scout, which is a very interesting decision. Now, and normally when Borg is doing this, they mean to use this for boarding capacity, things like that. I think Wolf just wants another set of eyes on the board. This is just very unusual because most Borg players and most players in general don't build a second scout even. So I like to see this. This could be very interesting. It could help him obtain the advantage, know where his enemy's fleet is at all times, that sort of thing. We do have a Dode coming up. This is an interesting choice. So he obviously wants those melting subsystems to go for that. Probably against these cubes. He sees those cubes, so he was able to adapt himself, no pun intended, and to move into a Dode and a scube. Alright, so he's going to get a little damage capacity and a little disabling capacity against 2 scubes.
I kind of feel like I should have made a bet with you there. Might have actually won something.
I would make a bet on the 3rd unit. What do you think we're going to see as the 3rd unit?
Are we looking at Wolf here?
Sure.
Let's see. I'm going to say, because he's getting his more mining up, it's going to be a scube.
Going to be a scube. That seems like a good bet. I think it's Well, we have 4 CCs. I think if he attacks before he gets to 10 CCs, he's going to go into something else. Oh,
Yes, they had a
there's some
truce
beaming
in the
going on, I
beginning
guess.
that they wouldn't beam onto each other's scouts, and as you can see, that's failed already.
Oh, and I have to say, you confused me because we actually have switched our players. If we look at our menu, you'll see that while Redman Mark was calling our left side to be Wolf, it's actually on our right side. So green is Wolf, blue is Arash, and Arash usually picks blue, so this is not unusual.
Well, that was a good mistake by me. I'm going to blame that on the late night.
The early morning at this point. Jeez.
Hey mate, the sun's up. It's beautiful outside.
So this Doe just used its special ability, which is that Axial Assault, did some disabling, did a lot of damage. You can see the support systems failing. That peripheral is going to die with a last shot. There it goes. There's not much going to be done here other than boarding. So he boards these ships in order to prevent himself from attacking them when he gets close. It's a very good decision by Borg in general. Board things that you don't want to attack against another Borg. So if you're chasing after a sphere and some scubes, and the sphere is heavily damaged, but the scubes are not, and you don't want to kill the sphere, you just beam onto it and you'll target the scubes.
Yep, a good tactical decision here by Arash. He's not going to bother carrying with that. There's no point. It's just going to retreat them to his starbase. So he's going for the expansion. So again, it's good to see this sort of play. He's thinking ahead. He's thinking about where can actually attack and not lose units. So he's not going for brick walls, which can be a thing for players to do, which is just dig up brick walls, which is never pretty.
Now we do see that he was mining titanium, which is a little unusual at this point in the game. We have an adapter coming out. I'm not sure what Wolf can do at this point. This scout cube is hurtling to its death. It's probably not going to make it out alive. You see that Arash is beaming on this again to prevent attacking it.
Yeah,
and that
very
scout
interesting.
cube may barely get out.
He built a peripheral cube. Again, that's something we see very often in board play. Why do you think that is, Dominus?
Well, peripheral cubes rely on having a certain number of scubes, and so if you don't really rely that much on scout cubes, then you aren't going to really need a peripheral at all. So you need about 2 to 3 scout cubes and a probe in order to get good use out of your peripheral cube. So if you really want that, that's good against Klingons, good against a lot of Federation stuff, good against Dominion especially. It's okay against Borg. You're usually not going to be relying heavily on scout cubes in Borg v Borg. Ooh, we got a lot of boarding going on. This is a nice offensive use of boarding here. I hope to see something being captured. That adapter is going to die quite quickly, but I'd like to see these probes being captured. They're low crew. They could be easily captured by these guys. If Wolf decides to use this as a nice tactic you can use, you have a lot of miners, a lot of beaming capacity, you could do that. And Wolf is calling it already. And I think that's a fair assessment. What do you think?
I think that's definitely a fair assessment. He couldn't do much.
Laying down the smack talk.
He did go for a really fast economy with the Borg, which again you can do on bigger maps, I reckon. And when you're probably in a team game, it's probably not the best route to go 1 versus 1 to go for fast expansions, because Borgs can't really get up units very quickly, and they definitely don't have as much defense in terms of other races, unless you're going to lay down a Doe turret. But basically you lose a ship, because all it can do is defend, so it can't actually help you in a battle in your other expansions. 3 Dodes, that's 60 collective connections, it's a big loss, and you could be attacking instead. So I probably wouldn't have myself gone for this fast expansion. I would have focused on units to counter what Arash was building.
I agree. This, I think, stems also from the fact that Wolf hasn't played Arash very often. Arash is a quite aggressive player when he is playing Borg, so you have to kind of know a little bit about your opponent in order to do a good job against him in almost all situations. And they already called the Goober Gaming, so we are...
No.
So good night on our short commentary that isn't even worth putting up.
You expanded too fast. Way too fast.